the screen where I check.
Screen where you check what?
Anyway, nah, forget it. It's okay.
Well, we're live anyway. I think we're live. We are live. Hi, everybody.
The screen where I check.
So, is this once again me here? By the way, that's one of the things we wanted to announce, that every Monday from now on, we're going to do this thing where we go live on YouTube, and then you hear in a few second delay the sound of my laptop on YouTube. But anyway, so thanks for joining us. This is very different from our usual events. We just Nikos and I wanted to let everybody know what we're doing as of now, in case you don't know, but also the things we have coming up, and we have a lot of stuff coming up, including stuff for that's open to the public, that's going to be on our social media, mostly on our YouTube, as well as more stuff that's members only. We our membership program is growing, which we really appreciate, and we want to give back, as the expression that has come up in recent events. But this is actually give back, because members are giving us funds to be able to do more stuff, and we intend to do more. So we have some great events coming up in the coming Mondays, which we'll get to soon. But before that, so Nikos, we have two new shows that are going to come up on our YouTube channel uh, at the end of this month. So two weekly shows on top of the daily objective, on top of our Monday events. Nikos, do you want to introduce the one that you will be doing? Do you want to tell people about
Yes,
it?
so we have figured out that some of the most successful meetups and some of the most successful episodes of the Daily Objective are around issues of romance, love, and sex. So we thought, and people have asked us to do a bit lengthier stuff on that. So once every week, we're going to have a live show with Gloria Alvarez, which is called The Selfish Lovers. And on that show, we will be discussing all things related to sex, love, romance from a philosophical point of view. And just to make something clear, that's not going to be a dating advice show. Okay, so it's going to be a show, though, that what's the point of philosophy? The point of philosophy is to live it. And one of the things that almost everyone is interested in is romantic love. And also, it's one of the areas where many people struggle to link the philosophy with their life. I'm one of these people. So we thought that maybe having a show on the issue of romantic love is going to be interesting and fun. So someone says, are we going to discuss Peikoff's infamous talk on the same topic? Yes. So one of the best events that Leonard Peikoff has been involved in, best in terms of how much people liked it, was his talk on love and sex and porn and all that stuff. So we could do a whole episode breaking down the Peikoff talk. So we hope that we will be in the position also to get questions from the audience, live questions from the audience via YouTube comments. And also we will have some guests who will be not necessarily objectivist, but they're going to be big in their area. So they're going to be, for example, big on the area of dating advice or evolutionary psychology, because these are mostly the people with whom we lock horns philosophically and with whom we disagree on the issues around the nature of romantic love or sexuality or these things. So most of the discussions that we could have when we discuss among us sex and romance and dating, we're going to have it on the level of a show, a bit more structured, and again, trying to approach it from the point of view of objectivism. That's not going to be objectivism applied. That's going to be the issues that we're all interested in, trying to see through some prism influenced by objectivism. And that's going to be a show that's going to be open for all. So some of the things that we're going to announce today are going to be things open to members only. This is going to be for all. So how frequent the I assume you mean the romance and dating show. That's going to be, as far as I know, once every week. And it's going to be the frequent co-host is going to be me and Gloria. And again, from time to time, we're going to have some big names as guests. Big names, not only big names in the objectivist universe, big names also in the non-objectivist universe. So we're looking forward to give them some hard time in terms of comparing our views on love and sex.
And Nikos, do you want to tell people when the first episode is and what the title of the first episode?
So the first episode is this Thursday, am I right?
You're wrong. It's next Thursday.
Oh. Okay, so the first episode is next Thursday, and the topic is sleeping with the enemy with a question mark. So, look, there are not that many of us in the world out there. So quite often we will find ourselves in the situation where people who we're romantically attracted to have values different from our values. But even if there were many of us out there, even if we were like on a 50-50 split, like Republicans versus Democrats or whatever, quite often, specifically if you believe the point of view that says that love is blind, you fall in love or you are attracted to someone with completely different values, with different philosophies, different points of view. The question is it worth pursuing a romance? I mean, it's worth pursuing maybe anyway, but can you hope that this can go somewhere? Is this sustainable? And is this something that can work? So Marilyn says Jean Moron is this Thursday. Yes, but don't get confused. This is an ARI Europe meetup, although obviously all of you are welcome. And I already see people on the chat saying that, talking about dating advice, someone was in love with a rock and roller. Well, that sounds good fun. Oh, but then he says he doesn't give. Anyway, so these are some of the issues that we can discuss, but at the surface level, there shouldn't be a problem dating and rock and roller. Unless this term used to mean something else from what it means now. So again, it's not going to be a dating advice show. It's going to be a show where we try to see these things from the prism of philosophy and from the prism of ideas. And also to see how our ideas are opposite to different sets of ideas. Very high on that list would be evolutionary psychology, which seems to completely dominate the field of dating and of intergender and intersexual dynamics these days.
Yeah, by the way, Nikos, I think some people might ask you for dating advice, which you can feel free to give. But, we always say on the Daily Objective and on Mondays, unless we have objectivist intellectuals on, we always say, we're not teachers of objectivism here. We're students. We're learning. We're applying the philosophy to the best of our understanding. And I think that applies especially on this show.
Having said that, there's a particular member of the Ayn Rand Center UK who's been doing brilliantly romantically lately, and I've never let him down with my advice, so that person should vouch for the validity of my advice.
Is that me you're referring to?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just talking generally.
Oh, well, so I didn't know we were going to talk about my love life on YouTube, but that's why we're live. You never know what's going to happen. Anything else on the selfish lovers, or should we move to something else that's coming?
We can move on. So just to remind, this is going to be open for all people. This is open to our audience in its entirety.
Yes, but it's on YouTube. So this is not going to be a meetup. There's not going to be an attendance option, but
that's going to be on YouTube. Of course, if you're a member and you can suggest a topic, we can't promise, but obviously, basically for everything, being a member is better than not being a member. But this is a show that's going to be open for everyone.
Yeah. And something else that's going to be open for everyone that's also debuting on YouTube We don't know exactly the day yet, but it will be very close to the Selfish Lovers, probably a day or two later. Is So the Selfish Lovers is going to be live. So when people comment or ask questions, there's a chance that there will be some interaction with the hosts and the guests. But we have another show that we have been working on that's a recorded show, but it's absolutely great. I mean, I've seen all the episodes because I was on the recordings, and it's called The Psychology of the Fountainhead Characters. We have 8 episodes for that show. We're going to go one by one through the main characters in the Fountainhead, and we have people who are very knowledgeable about psychology, philosophy, literature. So the hosts on that show are Josh Dixon, who will say a few words about it in a second, Andrew Bernstein, Shoshana Milgram, who is on 6 of the 8 episodes, and Gina Gorlin, who is on 3 of the 8 episodes. So, Josh, do you want to say a bit about the show?
Sure. Sorry. I've had a real blast doing it, and I actually have learned so much from listening to all three, Gina, Andy, and Shoshana, kind of riffing. I thought I had a lot to say about The Fountainhead. You know, it's one of my favorite books. I think it's the greatest psychology book I've ever read. And I just basically, for most of it, have sat back and listened and interjected the odd either comment here or there, or move the conversation on as a timekeeper. But I've just learned so much from it. You got Shoshana's, deeply professional and passionate take on it from her literary background. You've got Andy, who is just like, he must be one of the most passionate people I've ever spoken with about anything. And then Gina, Gina's a great clinical psychologist. So, and I think I've got value and things that I've brought to the table as well. So I think it's a fantastic series. I've really enjoyed doing each episode, and I think you're going to get a lot of value from it. The other thing is Razi's kind of using it as a setup to then try and do some of the other novels, which is how many characters are there in Atlas Shrugged? I don't know. Like when we went through that, there is one episode that we've done on what we call the supporting. We changed it from minor characters to the supporting characters of the Fountainhead, because none of them are minor, and the list just kept expanding and kept expanding and kept expanding, and it was like, oh my god, what's it going to be like if we did Atlas Shrugged? So a nice challenge coming up for all of us, I think, there. And I look forward to you guys enjoying it, because I enjoyed it in real time, and I know you'll enjoy it too. I think that's all I need to say on it, Razi.
Yeah, well, the Psychology of the Fountainhead Characters, as I mentioned, has 8 episodes. I think the Psychology of the Atlas Shrugged characters might be something like 80, but because I think some of them will need more than one episode. I mean, in the Fountainhead series, we have 2 episodes for Rourke, and then one episode each for 6 other characters, and then the supporting characters episode. But in Atlas Shrugged, I think, we'll see. I don't want to give spoilers for something that isn't even in the works yet, but I very much hope that it will happen.
I will say one other thing is, we noticed discussing it that, like, for example, when we did Ellsworth Toohey, we realized that we could have done 3, 4, 5 episodes just on him. The richness of these characters and how well written they are, and how well you get to understand them from the clarity of the writing is a huge part of that. So yeah, it's not comprehensive, but it's really great.
Yeah, and also as Gina mentioned, I think in the one of the first episode we recorded, although it's not going to be the first episode that airs, she said that it's very important to mention that these are fictional characters, so it's not actually a psychological analysis of them as people, because that's not possible. But yeah, as Josh said, it is a great psychological book. It's I think, it's my favorite novel, and yeah, I very much enjoyed listening to all the episodes, and I'll do that again when they air on YouTube very soon. So there are a few other things that I wanted to mention that are going to be open to everybody. Nikos, do you want to talk about one or two things that are open to members only, which, as I mentioned, our membership is growing, and we are doing the best we can to grow what we offer to members, and I think we are doing that. So, Nikos.
Yes, thank you. So I'm going to talk about 3 projects that are for members only. And the idea here is that we want to have various level of involvements for our members, depending on what they want, what's their focus in life, and what's going to be of most value to them. So some projects are going to be more relevant to someone who wants to get into the philosophy, and some other projects are more going to be relevant to someone who wants to see the application mostly in real life. So it's what Ron call philosophy for Ragnar versus philosophy for Reardon. So I'm going to start with the philosophy for Reardon part. So the ones that are mostly targeted to people who want to see what's the application of philosophy in my life. So we want to have a monthly, what I would call productivity hub, or probably the name is going to be something closer to productivity multiplier. And what do I mean by multiplier? So most of us are people who are very interested in this idea of productivity, on how to accomplish more things in life, how to go for more things in life. So one area we're interested in is what people would call self-development, or what people would call productivity studies, however you want to call it. So here's the idea. Actually, here's the problem and how we're going to solve the problem. The problem is that we all have limited time. There are tens of hundreds of thousands of books on this area of self-development and productivity. And there are many books that we wish we would have read, or that we wish we'd understand, but we haven't got the time. So what we're going to do is, once every month, we are going to present one of these big books that most of us have heard, or maybe have kind of read, but we're going to go deep into it. So books like, for example, Flow, or the book I want to begin with is the book Extreme Ownership. So this kind of books. And we will do 2 things. The first is see what are the main takeaways. So usually these are thick books. We're going to see what are the main points that can apply to our life. But also the second, Think and Grow Rich, yes, this could also be one. It's been on my library forever and I haven't read it. And the second thing we're going to do is we're going to evaluate them again from the point of view of the student of objectivism, or if we manage to get someone who understands the philosophy in a deeper way from an objectivist point of view. So the point here is that by bringing our experience on the table, so some of us are working, I work in a university in education, other people work in banking, other people work in fitness, other people work in the business world. So the idea is we bring together our experience and we see whether these advice, these life skills work or not. And the reason I call it multiplier is because by putting our experiences together, we're going to gain these skills in a hopefully more efficient way than by just reading the book and underline it and then wondering, has this worked, hasn't this not worked, and things like that. I already see people putting comments in the chat. So this is a members only program, but here's the thing. Every member can suggest a book, and based on negotiating with the boss, which is not myself, every member might also be able to present a book. Just to warn you though, the presentation is going to be, it has to be in depth. So you have read it, you have good notes, and that's how every discussion group will be organized. So once every month, members only, but you can suggest a book and you can discuss this book. I'm super excited about this project because this is an area where I spend a lot of time with diminishing returns in a way, because you read something and then you forget it, or you don't put these ideas on the test. So that's the point of the productivity multiplier, or the flourishing hub, or we see how we're gonna call it. Hopefully it's gonna begin definitely not in November, but it's gonna be there quite soon. And I've already found so I'm gonna do the first presentation, so you don't have to worry about the homework. But again, at any point, if you're a member, you can suggest to Razi to present a book and run a discussion on this group. So Razi, how about we do one project for members, one project for the whole public, one for members, one for the public?
Well, the thing is, I want to say, we have for the next.
Oh, sorry. Of course, yes. No, yeah. We will.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna announce every book at least 1 month in advance. Okay. So if we do extreme ownership, the earliest we're gonna do extreme ownership is gonna be, what's the date? Let's say the 15th of December. Okay. We'll see if we want to do it close to Christmas. What's the minimum price to be a member? Is it 10?
It's £10. I can check what it is in US dollars. I think it's maybe 13 or so. And yeah, I'll post.
Yeah, obviously, if you want to contribute more, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, there are different levels. Yes, it is monthly. So I'll post it in.
By the way, there are more perks than what we've announced. It's just one perk. There's more stuff coming.
Yeah. That's so. I wanted to, because I want to leave the Mondays, the upcoming Mondays, sort of to the end. Let's present one more of the members only discussion.
Okay, then let's present 2 more of the members only. So.
All right, wait. But do you want to let the person who's running the other one, because you run one of those discussion groups? But there's another one, which is every Friday.
We have 3 members only more stuff. Yeah. Okay, I get it. I've lost count, man. Sorry, I've lost count.
Me too. But I know what the next one is, and that's the We the Living discussion group, which we launched just this past Friday. So if you missed it, by the way, the members only stuff, if you miss it, it's all recorded and it's all on YouTube, but it's with a private link, so you can only watch it if you are a member. So our We the Living discussion group is run by Andrea. Andrea, would you like to say a few words about it?
Yes. So we've started discussing Brands We the Living, which is her first novel, and it's very special in so many different ways that I felt there's not enough content about this book. Almost anywhere, like everything focuses on Atlas Shrugged or the Fountainhead. So I really wanted to focus on We the Living and discuss it and analyze it in depth. So we've started talking about the first 3 chapters, and we had an hour and we didn't even get to finish what I planned to talk about. So we're going to start going even slower in order to be able to talk about everything of interest in the book. So psychologically, philosophically, and also what I especially like and do well, I think, is focus on the literature part, because that's my personal passion. And yeah, if you haven't read the book is definitely worth reading. It's very short compared to Atlas Shrugged. It's less than 2 Atlas. We the Living is less than Atlas Shrugged, so it's short comparatively. If you don't have the time for the longer books, then you can definitely try reading We the Living. It's set in Soviet Russia. Rand's own experiences contributed to setting the background, but it's also very relevant to what is happening today in the world. A favorite quote of mine tells how the Soviet forbade life to the living, and that's exactly what the governments are trying to do nowadays with COVID and everything. But that's going to be discussed in the discussion group. And yeah, if you have read the book, also, I think it would be worthwhile joining us because you can get a more in-depth understanding of the characters, of the theme of the plot, everything. So yeah, I think that's about everything I had to say.
And if you are already a member, if you're on the WhatsApp group, the members only WhatsApp group, I posted the link for the first discussion there. If to the recording of the first discussion, and we're also starting, I think today or tomorrow, we're going to have a members newsletter, which will include the links to the recordings of the last discussions on both discussion groups, the one that Andrea just presented and the one that Nikos will soon present, and the Zoom links for the next discussions. So the We the Living discussions are Fridays at 4:30 p.m. UK time. That's 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. And for this Friday's discussion, we are also going to be joined by Shoshana Milgram. So that should be a very good discussion. And Nikos, do you want to?
Yeah, and also to highlight something that Andrea said. So her passion is fiction. Other people's passion are more philosophy, not fiction. Other people, so different people like more different things. The good thing that we with this plan that we have is that no matter what your passion is, there is something that will appeal more to you. And now I'm gonna get to another project that actually it's not gonna be new, it's already running, but it's targeted to people who have a specific, let's say, agenda on what they would expect from a group like ours. And this is the discussion group on the peak of courses. So we started experimentally a bit before lockdown with one of the a bit more advanced courses of Leonard Peikoff. Now we're doing the philosophy of objectivism, and we're doing one chapter every Saturday. Now this is more in-depth stuff. This is for people who either they want to understand the philosophy in a better way, or they want to they see philosophy as their main appeal that objective has in them, like the philosophical ideas. And it's not taught by someone, it's a discussion group. Most of the times I'm running the discussion group, so it's not like a lecture or like a seminar. It's more, there's a structure, some questions, and then we try to come up to the answer. So don't worry if your level is relatively low or if your level is high. Up to this point, we haven't had the problem. Most people are more or less on the same page. Of course, it needs a level of engagement. So for example, if you haven't read Atlas Shrugged, there are going to be spoilers. Or if you haven't read anything from the philosophy, it might be a bit more difficult. Actually, it will be more difficult than people who have done so. But my experience up to this point is that it's a very humbling experience, because we all think we are experts in objectivism until we start discussing Peikoff's courses or reading OPAR. Then you realize, oh, I thought I'm purple belt, turns out I'm white belt, best case blue belt. So it's a very interesting experience. And again, every now and then we're going to have some experts on the philosophy. I think we had invited at least 2 very prominent objectivist philosophers, but then the lockdown happened, so we couldn't have them in London. So now we're doing it via Zoom. At the moment, we are in lecture 4. But as Razi said, if you're a member, you have recorded access to the previous discussions. If you're a new member, you get all the previous sessions on the philosophy of objectivism. Now, one more thing. I talked about productivity earlier. Don't be surprised if in the future one of the next courses that we do is something that combines philosophy and productivity. So maybe we'll do the writing session or the communication session. I don't know. Just thinking out loud at the moment. So based on what people think that we're going to get most value from, we can, because every session lasts up like 3 months. If we do one lecture every week, let's say 12 lectures, 3 months. So there's going to be a rotation, which is going to happen quite often. So if you say, for example, I'm not so interested on objectives through induction, I'm going to jump out and come back next time when you have, for example, objective communication. So, right. Any other comments, Razi, on this discussion group?
Yeah. So first of all, yeah, we discuss about one lecture per session, but we finished. We've had 5 sessions so far, and we've finished the 4th lecture. So this is an ongoing series. Once we finish this course, we're not gonna take a break. We're gonna go right into the next course. So the length of it will be determined by the discussions. If there's a lecture that for some reason we see that there's a need for 2, even 3 discussions, I can't imagine that, but you never know. We are going to make sure we get through the content well, and because I don't want this to be seem like an hour-long sales pitch, although we're definitely trying to sell memberships. We're not trying to hide that fact. But I do want to say that, yeah, if you can't afford a membership, or you don't, the lowest level, the cheapest level of membership is more than you can afford, that's perfectly fine. And I think we have, good content that's out there for free for everybody, which, of course, if you can engage with online, that will help more people see it, and will help us grow in that way. And of course, sharing it is always the best thing you can do. So
by the way, before you go to the free stuff, we have one more member thing.
Well, can I do the Monday stuff that's coming up, and then you say them?
Okay, yeah, then we'll finish with the last member thing.
Yeah. So yeah, Mondays we always have events that are usually not me and Nikos updating about stuff and selling everybody memberships. So the next few Mondays, we have 3 of the next 4 pretty much set. None of them are advertised yet. So this is the first I think most of you will hear of. So next Monday, we have, ahead of the Psychology of the Fountainhead Characters series, we have a panel discussion on the Fountainhead titled The Courage to Face a Lifetime, from probably the most famous scene in the book, or one of the most famous scenes in the book. And we'll have all 4 panelists from the Psychology of the Fountainhead Characters on that event. So that is going to be an event that's open to members of the London Ayn Rand meetup. So people who are on meetup, not just members. And it'll be live on YouTube. So the speakers for that are Josh Dixon, Andrew Bernstein, Shoshana Milgram, and Gina Gorlin. So that's going to be a very good event, I think, next Monday.
So will this be like launching the series, if I understood well?
Something like that. I mean, the first episode will be on YouTube a few days later. So this will be kind of but yeah, it will be a discussion of the Fountainhead. It's not, we're not going to rehash the same material. So, and the following Monday, we don't have the details yet, but we can tell you who the speaker will be, and that is Yaron Brook. And I know I've said this before a few months ago, and then we ended up just not getting, we wanted another speaker. We ended up not getting him. So ARI Europe did an event with Yaron instead that day, but this will happen in 2 weeks from today anyway. And December 7th, we're still working on it. I kind of know what it's going to be. I think I know what it's going to be, but I'm not going to say yet in case it doesn't work out. And December 14th, we have a discussion on the foundations of ethics with Craig Biddle and British best-selling author Douglas Murray, who I think our American audience should probably know as well, but he's definitely better known in the UK. And that's going to be, I think, a very interesting discussion. because they differ on what the foundations of ethics are. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. We've done events. I did organized an event with ARI in London a few years ago with Douglas Murray and Yaron. That was I think a very good event. What is killing Western civilization? It had we had a full auditorium and the video.
And hundreds of thousands, and Claire Fox, and hundreds of thousands of views, right? I think it has more than
64,000, I think, something like that. Last time I checked. So yeah, I'll be very happy if we get that kind of viewership on our video. But in any case, it's going to be worthy of those kind of numbers.
Right. So shall we go then to the last project, which is for members?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it is. I'm not sure what it is, so you will surprise me as well.
So yes, every now and then we're gonna be having a social only for members. Now, since we're under lockdown, the first social is going to be a virtual quiz, So it's gonna happen this Saturday, but it's not just and it's the equivalent of you show up with a glass of drink or whatever you want. So the idea is it's a salon when we have a good time. But it's not only a quiz to have a good time, it's also a quiz when if you win, you actually win something. Now, as we go on in future such events, hopefully they're gonna be in real life, face-to-face, you're going to win things like maybe merchandise. We'll see what we'll come up with. But this time it's books. So yeah, we're gonna win either What Justice Demands, or if you have this book, I'm gonna give a second option. So don't think I have everything. If I win nothing. I guarantee you that one of the options that we're gonna give you, you're not gonna have it. So again, you're gonna see details when you receive the newsletter. It's gonna be a quiz night with questions from obviously philosophy, but also culture, popular culture, sports, and also objectivist trivia. Also questions that has to do, fun questions that have to do with our community, and hopefully it's gonna be good fun. Again, we're stuck in lockdown. We are not allowed to socialize, but here's a good chance that we do it online. And again, when we go back to the real world, this might be something a bit even cooler in a very nice place. Every night we'll have a theme. We can do it once every couple of months, just to bring the community closer, and just so that we know each other better and we meet each other in a way that is of value and we have a good time.
By the way, if you
and also first, sorry, forgot to mention it. You can negotiate with the boss who is going to be the quiz master for every event. Or we don't even know if it's going to be quizzes in the future event. But for the first one,
isn't it your thing?
Yes, that's what I was supposed to say. For the first one, I'm the quiz master. So, yeah.
All right. Well,
does this mean I can't win though? Yeah, obviously it means that I can't win.
Yes, but I also, I figured out that if you buy a membership, which is £10 a month, this costs more than that. So if you win every month, you're actually saving money if you're a silver member.
Right. Yeah, that's not going to be a stable thing. That's going to be once every while when we feel like it thing. So again, the point here is that the membership has different levels of involvement based on what is the thing that you're interested in, and based on what you want and what you enjoy. So hopefully this message is clear, and hopefully people are gonna find value in it. Razi, suddenly looks like you're muted.
Yes. Rob, first of all, thank you. I saw that you just became a member, and yes, there will be in-person meetups after lockdown, but I don't yet know if they will happen in December. I really hope we can do something in December, at least once, with some sort of a Christmas party. Our regular venue is closed until at least January. I'm not sure if they're going to reopen at all.
Oh, just Razi, sorry, one clarification on this one. The productivity thing, if you become a member, even if life goes back to normal, you're going to have access to it. Either it's going to stay online or we're going to find a mix. So don't think that, oh, I signed up because I wanted to be part of the Flourishing Hub, and now suddenly life is back to normal. We all had our vaccine, and now I'm left out of it. You're not going to be left out. We really appreciate people who support this effort, and we're going to try to make sure that if for any reason you're outside of, I'm outside of London, for example, I know people are members from different countries. We're going to try to make sure that you all get all the value that you can from the membership.
Yeah, by the way, one thing we announced in the past and we started and then we stopped was the whiteboard videos, the short animated videos. So we were using content that we already had and we were repurposing it for that. That proved to be a bit difficult. We haven't given up on that, but it just we didn't have enough content that could easily be drawn. So we're working on that, but that will be back at some point soon. Nikos, do you have
Yes.
anything else to add? And also, if by the way, I agree that Don is doing a fantastic job. And yeah, do you have anything to add? And also, if anybody else has something to say or ask, now would be the
No,
time.
all I have to add is that, as I've told you also in private, I'm very impressed with the work that you're doing, and I think you're bringing a lot of value to the community and to all of us personally. So first of all, thank you, but also I encourage people to support this good work with, if not by membership, sharing our content, liking our content, talking to other people about our content. Usually the stuff that we deal with are stuff that are big in the world out there. So we do commentary on pressing issues or on issues that are related to what people struggle with in their life, or the topics that they try to understand, whether it's the elections or tribalism or the manosphere or racism or all that stuff. So share our stuff, try to spread the word, and as you go up to the levels of commitment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also make sure to become a member if that's not a sacrifice for you.
Yeah, Stephanie, that's
So,
an
Stephanie,
ARI.
yes, but that's with my ARI Europe hat. So that's not an ARC UK. That's yes, the show with Jim Moroni, it's gonna be accessible to everyone, and I'm gonna post on ARI Global today. You're gonna see it. No worries.
Thanks, Antoine, and thanks, Nikos, by the way. And Antoine, thanks also for being a member. By the way, I don't know if I should out members. If you, I make sure I'm only using the first name in case you get fired or anything. If people know that you're using any part of your salary to support us. So, but yeah, thanks. And of course, what I do is basically I organize things that people like Nikos, mostly Nikos, can bring these good ideas and concretize them and apply them to everyday issues and things people care about, and do so in a way that's interesting, that's entertaining. And by the way, we're constantly growing. If you look back through our YouTube channel, and you look at the views from just months ago, we're growing. So Nikos, I think he thinks it doesn't count unless we get Joe Rogan numbers. I keep telling him.
Well, Ben Shapiro, I said, but yeah.
All right. Well, that's also coming, but that's one step at a time, and I think we're doing the right things, and we're also so we have more and more content and more diverse content, diverse in terms of topics. Yeah, and I think that's it, Nikos. Is it? Or is...
Yeah, I haven't got anything else to add. We're doing so many things that I wouldn't be surprised if we forgot something. As far as I concerned, I don't think we forgot something. So yeah, so we'll see you people out there.
I'll also say that, yeah, one of the things that we do, and we now do this across the board on our social media. We were doing this on Facebook before. We do it on LinkedIn now, and Twitter, and on Instagram as well, though to a lesser degree. Is we have we have several posts a day, and we always have short clips from the best of our shows. So yeah, the fact that we create a lot of content means that there's a smaller percentage of our content can be consumed by many people, but we try to find the best of that in terms of video content. We you know we cut those videos, we add subtitles, we put them on social media. Those are great to share because they make a point, they make it succinctly, and we always include in the post a link to the full episode or full event or whatever it was, so that people who want to hear more can do so. Okay, so I think that's it. I am going to thank our YouTube audience. The people on Zoom can stick around. I'll keep the call open. So thank you, everybody who's watching on YouTube. And as always, again, please share this. Well, maybe not this video, although, yeah, why not? But share our content and subscribe and engage with it in any way that you can. And we'll see you hopefully tomorrow on the Daily Objective with Nikos and Raka. Tomorrow's topic is, and we have Eamon as a guest, who I think most of you don't know, but the London audience will know him, and that is the voter fraud debate. So the people who have been complaining about us, talking about dismissing the voter fraud issue, I think some of us still very much do dismiss it, but we will have a debate with somebody who doesn't think we should dismiss it as quickly. So,
right.
And I kind of want to say what we have the rest of the week on the Daily Objective, but that's why you need to subscribe and tune in. So thank you.
Yeah, just
watching on YouTube.
Keep in mind it's gonna be good. So make sure you subscribe so that you get it. Okay.
Yeah.
So